Hey guys, it's Windy from Windy's Art. Welcome back to my channel. So Halloween is coming up. I thought I'd share something related with this pumpkin painting. Let's get straight into it. First, I begin with a contour drawing and outline it with light watercolor. Notice the natural curves on the pumpkin when drawing. Later, we'll follow those curves to put colors on. Next, I apply masking fluid on certain areas to preserve the highlight. As you can see, after the masking fluid is completely dry, it's time to paint the first layer. I'm using wet on wet technique here, so I first apply a layer of clean water. Then quickly add colors on while the paper is still wet, so the colors blend nicely into each other. I first apply darker colors on the shadow areas, then continue moving on adding brighter shades which is around the stem of the pumpkin. When I'm done with the first layer, I let the paper dry before I put the second layer. This is because watercolor fades out a little bit once it's dry. So we add another layer after it's dry. We can see clearly which area colors should be strengthened. For the second layer, I start by wetting the paper with clean water, then continue adding darker shades for the shadows. Once the paper is dried, it's time to remove the masking fluid. After that, it's time to add the details. I changed to my number 2 pen brush here, so it's easier to paint small details. In this step, I'm trying to paint out most of the grains on the pumpkin. Remember the natural curves I mentioned before? Make sure you follow those curves line to paint out the grains. Also, after painting the base color, you can see those preserved white area seems a little bit too bright. So I add some lighter shades in it and refine the line to make it look more natural. Next, I add some highlighting with a watercolor pencil. I like to use watercolor pencil to add highlighting because the color still stands out on the watercolor painting. I always repaint over the watercolor pencil drawing with clean water so it looks smoother. For the stem, I first put a base layer using permanent green number 1, then add darker shades around the edge while the paper is still wet. I suggest keeping the first layer lighter so we can work on layers and details afterwards. Then continue adding darker patterns on the tip. Make sure you also strengthen the junction between the stalk and pumpkin so it looks more natural. I'm done with that, I start adding highlighting using a white watercolor pencil. I also add depth around the junction and some darker grains on the pumpkin. Finally, I add the shades around the bottom area. You can simply soften the edge by painting over it with clean water. I'm using green gray mixed with brown color here. So now the pumpkin is about done. I hope this tutorial is helpful and if you enjoyed it. If you do, please like and share with your friends and make sure to subscribe to my channel and ring that bell so you never miss out on my weekly art videos and tutorials. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next week. Bye!